You're going through Twitter trying to find your dose of positivity, but instead you keep reading the same word over and over and over. Impeachment, second impeachment, first US president to be impeached twice. It all sounds so interesting and somewhat riveting. The problem is that you have actually no idea what it really means, and you don't really care enough to ask Google because TikTok is just it's just so fun. Well, Habibis, I got you. At least it'll make me feel like my law degree was worth something. So let's start with the basics. The US, like many nations, has a written constitution. That constitution is that rule book that basically holds the principles and precedents that govern the country. It's your 2H2 plus O2 equals water, if you will. Except that sometimes it equals fire and oil, and I digress. So what does Congress impeaching Trump actually mean? Very basically, it means that Congress brought charges against the president called articles of impeachment because they believe that he's engaged in very, very serious crimes. This time, the charge was for inciting an insurrection, basically legalese for starting a revolution. Once they pass it, then at that point, Trump is set to be impeached, which is why you are reading this all over the news now because the House just voted to pass it. Okay, so Trump is impeached. Again, what now? You probably think that means that he's going to be removed from office like very soon, and for that you're probably wrong, absolutely wrong. Now that Congress finished its role, the ball's gonna move to the big bosses, the senators, and they are now going to hold a trial to decide on whether to convict him of the charges that Congress brought against him. And it's actually pretty tricky. The Senate is still a majority Republican, plus they'll actually need 2/3 majority to convict him. That's not easy at all. But on the other hand, the Senate leader doesn't want to hold the trial until after Trump leaves office, which at that point completely changes the dynamic because the Senate is then going to become controlled by the Democrats who want blood. So that could work out. Who knows? Okay, so assuming it does happen, is he going to jail? Is he going to pay a fine? What you may not know is that this whole process, impeachment, is actually not a penal process, which means that there are no criminal consequences after conviction. The primary purpose of impeachment in the US is to remove the president from office and basically stop them from enjoying the many great benefits that they get from being the president, which include their $200,000 so yearly salary, their $1 million travel stipend, as well as their somewhat limited continued juicy intelligence. But Hassan, how does that even help the Democrats if he's about to leave in a week? They can't remove him if he's just a citizen chilling at the Mar-a-Lago. Which brings me to the most important part of this whole impeachment process. If they vote to convict him at the Senate while he's holding office, he is automatically not only removed, but also disqualified from ever running for the office again. The tricky thing though, technically, the Senate can hold a separate trial even after he leaves the office just for the purposes of disqualifying him from running again. And in that case, they may be able to pass that vote with just a simple majority, and in that case, they may actually succeed. Bombshell after bombshell, Habibis, what are you waiting for? Subscribe and comment and share this with everybody. Anyway, now politicians are going to tell you that they're impeaching him to hold him accountable because 9 days are too long and blah blah blah. Typically, we've all come to learn that behind every political move is almost always another reason. And this one is most likely the Democrats trying to make sure that for the next term, the Republicans don't have a real Republican contender to run against their Democratic nominee. But what do I know? I'm just a guy on the internet making videos. That's it for today, Habibis. You only have one life and Trump only has one term. Live it right, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.